Oh, I hope you're warmed up because it just keeps coming. Single time.
Yeah. We have one to the interesting, unique little. Well, let's just say I noticed that he's got some. He's rather twitchy. Let's just say that.
Seems a little twitchy.
So this is Volmit. Oh yes, McVile Peepee. An open letter to Volmit, the court jester of clickbait, investigative journalism. Dear Volmit, thanks to J. Hip. I just finished your little masterpiece, the one where you breathlessly accused Jeremy Hales of weaponizing a protective order and call him a very dangerous person, while simultaneously proving that the only thing dangerous here is how badly you misunderstand the law, and frankly, how much you clearly miss being relevant. You've always been a stain, but this time, you've elevated it to a full-blown shit smear across the wall of online discourse. Your latest regurgitation, dressed up as journalism, is what happens when a washed-up stalker with a WordPress account and a grudge decides to cosplay as a legal analyst, and fails so badly, it's almost performance art. You waddled into this story like a tabloid raccoon, rampaging. Like a tabloid raccoon, rummaging through a dumpster labeled federal filings, pulled out some stale hearsay, greasy assumptions, and a fistful of speculations, and mashed it all into a blog post so poorly reasoned it makes flat earth newsletters look like a peer-reviewed science. Jesus. Yeah, no shit.
It's true.
I stared over the ice wall into the gazing blue eyes of the White Walkers. Let's start with your main argument, that Jeremy Hales committed some kind of legal sin by obtaining a protective order in Ohio instead of Florida. You cry, forum shopping.
We did.
Like you learned the phrase yesterday. But let's get one thing straight for your audience of Facebook retirees and retards and conspiracy hobbyists. Jeremy Hales isn't in a custody battle. He's not trying to win visitation. He's trying to keep unhinged lunatics like Preston and Cook, who've doxed, stalked, harassed, lied to law enforcement, and raised money, and the only ones thus far that I know of who have pulled and/or in some form or another displayed firearms, and raised money on a child's illness without receipts. The hell away from him. Hate to break it to you, Volmit, but venue exists where harm occurs and can be proven. That's Civil Procedure 101, which you might know if you ever cracked open a legal textbook instead of basing your analysis on podcast gossip and what Fleesa claims she maybe saw on a live stream in 2023. This means especially when you're being targeted across state lines. But I guess legal nuance isn't your strong suit. Then again, neither is truth, or dignity, or personal hygiene, based on the aura of stale coffee and desperation that wafts off every sentence you type. If it smells like cat piss, it just, never mind. You admit there's no public record of Hales being denied in Florida, but you still claim, without evidence, that it happened. Then you hedge with a FOIA wasn't filed. Like that covers your journalistic malpractice. It doesn't. You accuse Jeremy of using the order for content. You mean like you just did? You wrote 3 articles about it. You're literally fundraising off the same protective order you claim is exploitative. Your entire online persona is built around weaponizing court filings you barely comprehend. You're a parasite, gnawing at the ankles of relevance, hoping someone will mistake you for a journalist instead of what you really are, a washed-up, ethically bankrupt smear merchant who's been bounced from every decent publication like a roach from a five-star kitchen. Next, your tantrum over Jeremy allegedly being friends with the mayor and supporting a canine unit is laughable. You know who else supports canine units? Literally every civic-minded business and donor in small-town America. It's not corruption. It's community engagement. It's part of levies, as a matter of fact. When the levies are passed, that's what happens. But in your world, that's some deep state chess move. Is there anyone in public life who isn't in on the conspiracy at this point? I'm surprised you didn't claim Jeremy took an oath under a full moon with Dan the mayor and canine officer Shadow. And while we're at it, let's talk about your ringer judge theory, where Magistrate Candy O'Connor, an actual officer of the court, is just handing out protective orders like Halloween candy because what she wanted Jeremy to vlog about it? You describe her decision as baseless, yet cite no transcript, no appeal, and no actual legal precedent. Why? Well, because there isn't one, you fucking idiot. The order wasn't entered after evidence, testimony, and due process. You just don't like the outcome. Now, let's drag your past out from behind the curtain of sanctimony and probably your mommy's couch. You want to pretend you're a truth teller, a whistleblower, some kind of voice for victims. But you've spent years stalking abuse survivors, doxing private citizens, and harassing journalists and lawyers who don't co-sign your paranoid screeds. You were permanently banned from several domestic violence advocacy spaces for intimidation and unethical behavior. And your obsession with inserting yourself into court cases you don't understand has already gotten you slapped down before. You're not a journalist. You're just a retard with a pad of paper, and you're a liability with a Substack. And the best part, you accuse Jeremy of making content from the protective order while you literally built 3 articles and counting, whining about it. You're mad that Jeremy isn't silent while you're trying to smear him. Newsflash. The First Amendment applies to him too, even if that makes your fragile ego shrivel up like your credibility.
Or other things.
Drop the soy and step away. It's fucking you up. As for Tug, you tried to bait him with evidence that he bodied you with documents, source confirmations, and police reports. You didn't know what to do, so you did what every greasy little coward does. You turned up the volume, cried victim, and doubled down on your tired narrative. He showed you verified statements, confirmed abuse allegations, exposed a mountain of lies from Preston and Cook, and all you did was scream into the void like a rabid Yelp reviewer mad that their McNuggets were cold. He didn't fall for your bad faith trap, so you called him a scumbag and threw a tantrum. Classic Volmit. And then there's this gem. Shizzy didn't respond. No, I didn't. You name-checked me as if your slimy, click-desperate little campaign is something I'd dignify with a response. But just to be clear, I didn't answer because I don't engage with propagandists masquerading as journalists. I don't respond to people who play moral hall monitor while harassing survivors behind the scenes. I don't lend oxygen to a guy who weaponized trauma for clicks and was so toxic, even his former quote-unquote friends have jumped ship. You're not a threat. You're not a reporter. You're not a whistleblower. You're a rotting shit stain on the interwebs. But now that you've dragged my name into your greasy little circus, let me make myself very clear. You're a bad faith actor with a history of ethical violations, a reputation for emotional abuse, and a dwindling audience that only tunes in to see what dumpster fire you'll ignite next. You cry dangerous at Jeremy because his success humiliates you. He's doing in public what you've always wanted, building something people actually watch. Now you cling to Jeremy like a life raft, hoping to catch a mention in one of his videos. Maybe get a spike in views so you can beg your 63 subscribers for coffee money and tantrum points. But Jeremy isn't going to say your name. He doesn't have to, because I just did. And now the rest of your skeleton closet is swinging open. You're defending Preston and Cook, who used a child's illness to raise money, who got slapped with restraining orders, and who filmed themselves violating the terms of those orders. You defend them because you think attacking Jeremy will get you a cookie and a quote in someone's comment section. Spoiler, it won't. The only thing you're going to get is sued, exposed, and then ignored. Like the little hooker on the street corner when you're done with her. Just like Miltown. Speaking of which, remember him? He parroted your trash, ran with your lies, and now he's radio silent because Jeremy Hales dropped a lawsuit on his doorstep. That silence? That's your future, Volmit. You're not a journalist. You're a rotting clump of bad faith blogging weaponized for smear jobs and petty cash. Your voice has the weight of a fart in a wind tunnel, and your credibility couldn't get past a CAPTCHA test. So keep typing, keep crying, keep clinging to any grifter willing to let you lick their boots for a quote or, well, never mind. But don't forget, we're watching. And when that defamation lawsuit hits your inbox, don't bother emailing me. Sincerely, Shizzy Wiznut, voice of reason, destroyer of grifters, CEO of the Shizzy Short Bus, trademark, and your favorite YouTuber's worst nightmare. And I am, and always will be, your fucking daddy. Good.